let's get started. Anyhow, who here is, now this is the Brew Robotics Club. I think you figured that out. Normally we're a little more organized than this, but things happen.
We're a week early.
Yeah. So who here is this their first time here? Okay, let me explain the lay of the land. Basically, we're here from 7 till 10, and I will be pretty religious about kicking people out at 10. And normally we have bathroom rights, but unfortunately they're remodeling, and the bathroom's on the other side of the remodel wall. So if you need to go to the bathroom, you need to go to the front lobby, okay, and then get brought back in, okay. So that's the restroom situation. It's very, very nice that Google lets us use this facility. It's very hard to get facilities this large at the price that they're offering, which is free, okay. So we want to follow all the Google rules and do the right thing. And one of them is they do want us to have badges. And they may not be too happy with these badges, but in the past we used to have to go through the badge machine, and we would basically break the badge machine because there would be too many of us. So Ryan, who's our sponsor, worked out a deal where we could do our own badges, but I suspect that's going to change soon. Okay. Tonight is election night. Okay. Since there's only 5 people running for the 5 offices, it's kind of a foregone conclusion, but we have to go through the whole process. Okay. So the offices are president, and I'm running for that. So I'm Wayne Granlick. The next office is secretary-treasurer, and that's Osmond who's doing that. I think he's still out there helping negotiate. Okay. Our webmaster is James Nugent. He couldn't make it tonight. Okay. He lives over in Modesto. And our program chair is Alan Fetterman. He's got a bug, so we want to share a bug with us, so he can't make it tonight. And then our Sergeant of Arms is Ryan Hickman, and he's not here tonight. So we're not doing too good in terms of the executive committee, but since there are only people running, that's the way it goes. Okay, the rules are only members can vote. So if you're not a member, don't vote. Does anybody have any problems with me voting us all in as a unified ballot? I didn't think so. So all in favor, who are members, of voting in the ballot, please raise your hand. All against, please raise your hand. It was unanimous. Okay, that takes care of the election for this year. Okay, so for those of you who are new, the way this all works is you're welcome to come to these meetings free of charge. You know, you can come to as many meetings as you want. If you choose to become a member, the dues are $10, $10 for an individual. We also $10 for family. We're trying to be pretty family friendly here. We usually do our membership drive in January through March, and then we don't waste too much time doing membership driving. We do have some expenses, and they aren't that great, but you know, we're doing the dues because we need a membership roster. And the final thing is, when we do events outside of these meetings, some of them require that we have only members at the event. Okay, so like Maker Faire, we require that you be a member of the club in order to be in the HBRC Maker Faire booth. So that's really about the only big thing that sort of sometimes catches people up. Okay, so we've done the election. I have one question I want to pose to people who are here. Most of you are on the HBRC email list, right? Yeah, okay. We've been doing an experiment for the past like 18 months with paid ads. And prior to that, it was a zoo, and I didn't like it at all. So this is why we went with the paid ad approach. I'd like to hear from people if you're finding the paid ads annoying, okay? Is anybody here annoyed with paid ads? I'm not seeing anybody raise their hand. If you're too embarrassed to raise your hand, just find me afterwards and tell me why you don't like them, okay?
What kind of money do we get from it?
We're not doing it for money, okay? We're doing it primarily just we were getting spammed so much with so many random things that it's primarily because we charge $10 for members, $20 for non-members. It's just a way to cut out all of the fluff.
So, what about like job postings?
I'm flexible on job postings, but if you're a company, a real live, honest-to-God company, you can afford $20. So
Okay,
I've
but
been pushing
the
that.
job postings are a paid ads.
They're now a paid ad.
Okay.
If you can make the case that
Put it on.
you can't afford it, maybe I'll let it
But,
through.
I mean, you know,
There's Valley
there's
Robotics.
jobs that somebody's aware of,
Yeah.
and especially if it's robotic. I mean, only if it's robotic.
Yeah,
You know,
so
it seems like.
send
we
those
should
to
be
me,
interested-
I make the call, okay?
Okay.
The Ross mailing list.
You know, so I'm just trying to, there is also a professional organization called SV Ross that does that. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at. I'm gonna continue the experiment on the paid ads because I kind of like it. It simplified my life. And the mail list was no fun prior to that. Okay, so we've gone through the lay of the land. Let's talk about the agenda. The agenda is first we do me blither up here for 10 minutes. Sorry about that. We'll do any sort of robot news that people can think of. We'll follow that with show and tell, where people show their robots in various stages of completion. And then after that, there will be a 5-minute break while our speaker sets up. Our speaker is here, I hope? So both, okay, great. So we've got our speakers. Okay. And then we do the talk, take some questions and answers at the end, and then we just go into everybody talks with one another until I kick everybody out at 10. And I'm pretty good about getting everybody out at 10. Okay. So the only other thing left, I'm going to go back to club stuff, is Osmond is back after heavy negotiations with the Google guards, and he's supposed to do the final summary of the finances. This should take 30 seconds.
Tell him you got reelected.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, you've been reelected.
Oh, yay! So I don't have to give my acceptance speech?
No.
So my name is Osmond. I'm the treasurer and secretary of the group. And one of the things I like to do each year is just let everybody know how the group is doing financially and how we're doing as far as membership goes. So this year we had 70 paid official members in the group. But let me first say that for those of you who might have just started coming, we do have dues. Dues are optional. You can come and participate as much as you want, even if you don't pay dues. But in order to be a unincorporated association and give us certain protection, we maintain a membership list. If you want to participate in certain group activities, you have to pay dues. So dues are $10 a year per family. Very reasonable. So this year we had 70 official, I think I'm over my 30 seconds already, I'll try and go faster. This year we had 70 official members paid, which is a record as far as long as I've been keeping records, which has been 4 or 5 years, I think. Up from 66 or so last year, and it's been going up every year. We also made more money in ads this year. So we implemented an ad policy for our mailing list a few years ago. Not really to make money, but more to keep down the posts spam. Yeah, spam. Okay. So we had actually 6 paid ads this year. So we made $60 on ads, which is also a record from last year. So all told, we made $700 from membership, $60 from ads. We had a starting balance of $1,600, so we're now at about $2,300 in the bank. We didn't have any major expenses last year, a few minor things like postage, web hosting, and the renewal of our That's
Unincorporated
unincorporated association fee has to be reviewed, so that's where we're at.
So, any robot news that anybody wants to share with us? Nope, okay, I'm not surprised, it's not that time of year.
DARPA is giving out money as part of their Robotics Fast Track Grant Program. Wayne and I went to an info session today. They'll give you $100K, and Ed as well. They'll give you $100K or more if you can convince them that your thing is, you know, a big contribution to robotics and that has defense applications. So have fun, kids.
Okay. It was actually kind of interesting. But for me, the most interesting thing was how they worked around all the government regulations, because otherwise it's almost impossible to get money out of the government because they have so many rules. It was very tricky.